Hi, I'm Shaken Gaming. Today is all about runes. Which ones are worth buying, which ones are worth leveling up. The idea came when I found this one on my live account today, which in my opinion is one of the best runes you can find. Potency rune with Potency primary, critical hit chance and speed. This one is usable for a lot of different characters. Stay tuned, I'm going to roll this one in the end of the video. First up, some explaining of which runes are good in which circumstances, which are worth buying in the rune shop, and how far should you level them up. First up, 4-star, 4-dot, purple. Runes are the best in the game and you should always look to get those. The blue ones are lesser, 3 dots are lesser, and green is for nearly everyone getting just level 80, not worth anything, and grey are just straight up delete whenever you get one. There are 8 different kind of runes. I've listed these in order of importance, in my opinion. There's speed runes, those are the most important in the game to get. And there's potency. Well, let's go back to speed. Why is speed the most important? Because whoever is fastest goes first. The faster your characters are, the more turns they will take compared to your opponent. So speed always wins. In nearly every situation, the faster your character, the better your character is. Potency is the next one. You need potency to reduce turn meter on opponents. You need potency to remove buffs on enemies if you have a dispel. And most importantly, you need potency to inflict debuffs on enemies. That's why potency plays such a large role. The next one is tenacity. Tenacity is the opposite of potency is in some way, but potency is so much stronger than tenacity. I'm not going into details why, but essentially you need more or less to stack tenacity to make it work in a lot of situations. If you don't, then it's not as important. But in PvP for tanks, this is an absolutely necessity to have a lot of tenacity. It can be useful on other characters as well in some situations, but for tanks, this is the most important rune for PvP at least. Critical hit chance. You have a lot of characters that proc different abilities or cooldown reductions or other stuff on getting a critical hit. Also, critical hits do a lot more damage and can be scaled up further with critical hit damage runes. So, to even consider using critical damage runes, in nearly every case you need critical hit chance on top of it, otherwise it will not be worth it. Next one is armor. Armor is more beneficial to nearly every character than using health runes, because it gives more estimated health for the character than just adding health, because health isn't as easy to stack as shield is. There isn't a shield set, but you can get shield on secondary and primaries on the runes, and they can scale a lot more compared to health. Health do have some good characters where it's good on, due to characters benefiting from having a high health pool. For example, Kin Lee, who regenerates health a percentage of his max health every turn. So the more health he can get, the more he will regen. Damage is good on a lot of characters. Of course, damage dealers it's good on. It's in the ideal setup for a damage dealer, for raw damage, for nearly every situation. a critical hit chance set combined with the damage set is the highest damage multiplier you can get on your character. Also, healers benefit from having damage because their heals will be bigger. So it's both beneficial to healers and damage dealers. The last two are health, which I already talked about, being the lesser of the two defensive runes, armor and health, and then critical hit damage, which has very limited use because using a critical hit damage set only benefits those few characters that have guaranteed critical hit or can get up to 74%, I think it is, critical hit chance. Unless they have that much, it's not beneficial to use the critical hit damage rune compared to just using the damage rune set. So that's why it's the worst of all the sets you can gather. That's something to consider when you're looking at 1.2 million runes in the rune shop. These should not be top priority. These ones should. But what do you want to have on these? Because each of these runes are good on some characters and not as good on others. You can use the auto assign to get an idea of what is good on which characters. But it will not be useful for every situation. A lot of them are good suggestions. Sure, General Murdoch benefits from both having potency and critical hit chance due to his set, but you need the right values as well. So maybe these aren't the best you can have compared to which how strong the different runes are you have, which secondary roles they have taken. Those were the 8 different kind of runes. I have 0 on Kyra. Let's go in here so I don't get mixed up when I start to compare. Then I bought a bunch in the rune shop. I'm on the test server, so it doesn't matter that I bought some. Where are they? They are down in here. Just to go over the different slots, I have various runes. Some are very good, potentially, because if they roll bad, they are still bad. And some of them are not as well. If you look at the first one, this is an armor rune. And North runes always got damage primary. So you can only have different stats on the other, on the secondaries. And you can have speed on an armor rune if you use it on a healer, for example, as defensive measure. But this one is very, very good for a tank. Most tanks don't need the speed. And this one's got both health, shield, and armor. This is a very, very solid rune for a tank. Let's roll it once and see what happens, if it's worth going higher. This turned out to be even better. Tenacity is the last strong defensive stat that you want on a tank. This is almost too good. There's no reason not to go up to level 12 straight away. Got health, that wasn't as good as getting armor, but it's still worth going up, hopefully getting some tenacity. No, we got health again. It wasn't the best rolls. If we'd gotten more shield, that would have been better, but it's still a very, very strong tank rune. Next one, it's got tenacity. So it's obviously again for a tank, but it can be used on other characters as well that you don't want to be debuffed as much. And it's got 5 speed, and it's got damage and critical hit chance. So it's a bit of it's a bit messy, because really a healer, you don't want to be debuffed or stunned, doesn't need crit chance. So on paper this looks like a very good rune, but who's going to use it? You can stick it on a tank because it's Tenacity, but the tank doesn't in most cases need speed, and the tank doesn't need damage and critical hit chance, so this isn't really a very good rune. You can use it on other, if we're lucky and get, I don't know, 15 or more speed, it would be good no matter what. But for now, I wouldn't buy this one even with 5 speed, because I don't know who to use it on. So I'm not rolling that one. This one, that has only got 3 speed, but it has potency and armor. That, in my opinion, is more beneficial. You have several tanks that can use potency. You have debuffers that can use potency. That's beneficial. Okay, it's only 3 speed, but there's the armor on top. This one should go straight to 8, just to see what procs, what the last secondary will be and which one gets scaled up. And that's very important, which one gets scaled up, because if it had been speed, it would have been clear that I was going to 12. Now I'm not as certain, because the armor really needs to go on a healer now, or on a debuffer that doesn't do a lot of damage. I think I'd still go to level 12 just to see. Potency again. That's a tough one. On my live account, I'm not sure I would go for 16 on this one, but just because we're here and I have unlimited money, I took it up further and it turned out bad. That ended up being a bad rune. It had potential. It wasn't very good, but it had potential. Here's another one. No, that was the one from before. Going over to Northeastern runes. I have here a decent damage rune. It's got health, damage and critical hit chance. The health isn't optimal, but it's definitely nice, and we know that speed will go up to 28, so that's perfect. It can't get any better. Now we just need some proper stats on the last one. Armor, no, not really what we wanted. I want damage, or I want critical chance for it to be used on a damage dealer. I can also accept not getting more critical chance and then use it on a healer instead. Damage, perfect, that works on everyone. Damage, good. I'm taking that up high. And I actually thought I would stick this on maybe a healer, but now it got critical hit chance again, and therefore it's definitely for a damage dealer. But a good rune, not the best, but definitely a decent Northeastern damage rune. This one can be utilized on healers to a large extent, because you want them to stay alive and you want them fast. This one does both. Unless you get critical hit chance on the last spot, we didn't. This can be used for a lot of different characters. I'll take it straight to 16. And it has a lot of shield and it has a lot of armor. This will keep a character alive for a long time and still giving them the max speed. This was a good rune from the beginning, and it stayed a solid rune after rolling the stats as well. A lot of survivability in that one if you have a squishy character that you still want to be fast. Then there is Southeastern runes. These are always armor, so there's nothing to consider here. It has speed, damage and health. Can be used on a tank you want some speed on, and it can be used definitely as a defensive rune on a healer. Let's see what the last... perfect. It's still very good for a healer. Now we just want speed, really. And we didn't get it, but still I will take it up because just getting 10 speed will be worth it on most accounts. It didn't get speed at all, but still this will in many rosters be beneficial on a lower character, not your best characters because it's too slow with only 5 speed, but it's still a good rune that I would have bought in the rune shop if I saw it. Critical hit chance rune, Southeastern, armor is set, critical chance, shield, speed. This is for a damage dealer, no doubt about it. If it rolls shield again, and if we get health or armor down here, it's not as good. We got health, so that limits the value of this one greatly, and now it needs to roll speed or critical hit chance to be usable in my opinion. It got shield. I'm desperate, so I'm taking it to 12. If it rolls a mod I don't need again, I'm not going to bother. It's too little critical chance, it's too little speed without having damage on it. So that one goes to scrap. Another Tenacity rune with 5 speed. Tenacity and shield. If it's going to be used on a tank, we do not want the speed, and I didn't get. I would like more Tenacity really. Perfect, that's going up to 16, and it got speed. It's a decent rune. It can be used on several characters. It's not optimal for anyone, but it definitely has usages. For characters that you don't want to be debuffed. You want to keep them going. Hard Orc, for example, comes to mind. You want him to live and you want him fast, and this one can do both of those tasks. Another speed rune, Southeastern. Shield, speed, shield. It's not the best rune. Because who's going to use it? But now it rolled damage. Now it's definitely for a healer. Now we just need speed and we need damage. It got shield. It got damage. Okay, last time just to hope for another speed. And it did get speed, but only a low roll with a 3. So it ended up being a mediocre rune. That would go on a low end character. That was unlucky, but it wasn't the best either from the start, so I'm not sure I would have bought it in this shop, but I probably would have if I had enough money at the time. Then there's health, the rune I ranked second lowest of all, but this one has 5 speed, and therefore I bought it, and it's got shield and it's got health. So again, thinking of a healer that you want to keep alive and have speed on. It got a speed proc. Can we get more? Oof. Now this is a definite going up because now it has potential to get 16 speed. So I will roll that to 16 no matter what. 15. Boom. That was a good one. I was in doubt when buying it, but this one can be used on a lot of characters. Okay, it's a health rune, but it's got 15 speed, and that is worth everything. No question about it, that was a good roll. Speed isn't very frequently compared to the other stats. I've shown that before, but that was a good buy. If you want to go max damage on a character, you want, as I said in the beginning, damage runes, and you want critical hit chance. For primary stat on the Southern rune, you want critical hit damage, not critical hit chance. But on several characters, this is good as well. Because high critical hit chance procs various abilities. For example, Fowl, the Panda Fowl, she reduces turn meter on her second ability, third, second, if she crits. And for example on her, you want as much crit chance as possible, but it didn't have speed. I would not have bought this in the rune shop because all damage dealers want speed. But now I have it. Unlike the Tenacity rune that I didn't want to roll, I want to roll this one because maybe it gets speed. Now that I have it, but it didn't, and now I'm not going to level that further. It's simply not worth it without the speed. It's a waste of gold, if you ask me. Potency with critical damage on it. Don't buy that. That's stupid. But since I got it, maybe I got it from a tournament, I'm definitely going up to 4 to see if I could get critical hit chance on it or potency. Because characters you're using potency runes on, you definitely want more potency. And having critical damage here, you want critical hit chance. It didn't get any of those, so that goes, or speed, more speed, so that's going to the dump as well. Then I got a speed rune with shield primary. Good for a healer again. Could be useful on debuffers as well. Definitely, but it needs speed for that. Potency also on the last. So going up, we got health, still got potential. Now it doesn't. It doesn't have enough potency, it doesn't have enough speed. I would still roll it on my live account to 16 just because it has the chance to go higher on speed, and it turned out to do that. Now it's usable, definitely, on a lot of characters. Not your best characters, but for Battlegrounds you need every character you can get, and this one will be good on a lot of different characters that benefit from both potency and speed. Going over to the southwestern corner, critical hit chance. Here you have the chance to get health or shield. Shield is the better of the two, so this one's better. But where's the speed? There's no speed on this one. This is a bad rune. If it doesn't have speed, it will go to rank to level 4. If it doesn't get speed, it's going out. That was it. No further discussion, no need to use money on that. Sorry. Tenacity, another Tenacity rune with both armor and speed. I wouldn't have bought this in the shop, really. If it had 5 speed, I would have bought it, but not with 4. But since I have it, I'm definitely rolling it once. Health, what am I going to use this on? It's not going on a tank, because both speed and damage, and it didn't get more shield, so I cannot shield stack it. I don't know, maybe 8 and see what happens. Damage again? No, that's a bad rune. Going out. Where are we at? I'm running out of money here. That wasn't the idea. Here's health instead, which is worse than having the shield. It's got tenacity, not the best. It's got armor, not needed. It's got speed, but only 4. I would not have bought this in the shop, but since I have it, I will definitely roll it once or twice. Got critical chance, not potency. Had it had potency, I would definitely continue. I will still go one further just to see if it gets speed. It did. And now it gets interesting because now it's useful getting all the way up to 16, because just getting one more speed proc will make it very good. If I get 2, got 1. 13 speed. Suddenly a very, very good rune, usable on every character that needs potency. Even though it doesn't have potency secondary, it'll still be a very good rune. You just need more potency on other in your set. What's this? Speed, but only 3. The most essential thing on a speed rune is having speed secondary. Unless it's northeast, then you need it primary. But if it doesn't have speed, you're never ever going to buy it. That's rule number 1 for speed runes. I'm definitely rolling it once or twice just to see if it procs speed. It didn't. To be honest, I'm not sure it's worth going higher. If you need the speed runes, go for 1 more. Otherwise, don't. And then it procced. And then you have to go all the way. 10 speed. Poor rolls, but still decent. But it's not a very good speed rune considering you got 3 rolls of speed and it only went up to 10. So it's poor rolls. That could have been 15. But it's still usable on a lot of characters. 10 isn't unusable, definitely not. I took a short break and now I have gold again. This one, health with health and armor, damage, speed 5. If I had a lot of gold, I would buy this in the rune shop. If I didn't have a lot of gold, I'd probably pass on it because it's a health rune. And it's got health primary, not the ideal, but damage and armor and speed are all good for a healer, for sure. Tenacity, it's still usable. And now we just need speed, and speed, and speed. It's still worth going up. Didn't prog again. Turned out not as good a rune, but it's usable on a lot of lower and mid characters as well. Now this one, critical damage rune with tenacity primary. You do not want that. Speed, ooh, 5, perfect. Damage, good. Health, never mind. It needs damage percentage, or it needs critical hit chance down here to be usable at all, but I would never buy this in the rune shop, because tenacity primary on a critical damage rune doesn't make any sense. It's such a big multiplier getting damage up here, when you are clearly going full damage if you are having a critical damage set. So this one needs critical chance, and it did get it. Now I have to roll on, because if I get anything else than health, it's still a usable rune. And that saddens me, because this one I really didn't want to roll any further. And now it's rolling perfect, and this is so annoying. This was one I didn't want to roll at all. Oh, and this is the first time ever I get a plus 19 on both my live account and the test server. The odds are so ridiculously small. I think I have a 17 or an 18 maybe. I have an 18 on the test server, but I've never had a 19. And then it procs on a stupid critical damage rune with tenacity northwest. That was lame. But 19 is still a good rune. This is usable on more characters than it should be because of that. That alone is so good. And that's actually good that I decided to roll it then, because this shows the importance of speed. It doesn't matter that it has tenacity up here instead of damage when the character can go before every other character in the game, because it's so fast. And that's the stupidity of it. But it just shows that you cannot always know if the rune's going to be good or bad. I definitely was sure that this was going to be a shitty rune, but it turned out amazing. Hope you get some of those. I haven't on my live account. This one. Potency Northwest. That's one of the most important ones you're going to get. You will preferably want it on critical hit chance, speed, or potency runes. That's where you want the potency on 4-dot purples. That's the one that can go up to 22%. And that is so needed by a lot of characters and so hard to get with speed on top. And all those that have potency primary, you want speed. It's not ideal because it's on a tenacity rune, but it can still be usable. It rolled tenacity again. That sucks. And damage. And this might show why some runes, like the last one, can turn out completely different than you thought it would, and this one did as well. No speed, full tenacity. This could be used on a tank. Imgur. It's got tenacity set, it's got at least 4% tenacity secondary. The speed is okay, shield is okay, damage, okay, that sucks a bit. But then you have the potency, which you definitely want on Imgur. Imgur could be one character that could need this one. It's not good, but it can be used. 2 runes left. Armor up here on speed rune. Not the ideal choice for most, but it definitely has usages, and it's got speed +5. That's going to 8 straight away. It didn't roll speed. I'm giving it 1 more. The problem is that if it rolls critical hit chance, it doesn't fit on a healer. You need it on a damage dealer, and then you don't want more tenacity or shield. You want the speed or you want the critical hit chance. There came the speed. It's going to 16, and it got critical hit chance. You don't really want armor primary on a damage dealer. You want damage up here, but it can be used on damage dealers for sure. Not the best rune, but decent. Lastly, I found this one, Potency, primary on a Northwestern rune with speed. Only 3%, only 3, but that's good enough for me. I would buy this one in the rune shop just because I have so few 4-dot purples with potency and speed. I really need that. I'm there where I will just go straight to 12 because it's that good. And it didn't get any speed, which sucked. In my case, I still have several characters that will definitely be happy with just 8 speed, so I'm still continuing because it's that rare. 7, I still have characters for raid at least that will need this, so it's a keeper with just 7 speed. That was it. I hope you learned something. But lastly, I'm swapping over to my live account because I got one perfect rune that I want to roll with you guys. So here we are, end of the video. Before I'm saying have a great day, let's see if I have anything to celebrate and to really be happy about or not. Here's the rune I showed in the beginning of the video, and now it matters. Before it didn't, because the others were just on the test account. This one is on my live account where my money isn't unlimited and where I really need these runes. Even if it stays 5, I still have usage for this rune. It's still better than some of those I use on some of my raid characters because I have so few 4-dot potency with speed. So already now I can say that this is an upgrade for some of my characters. Depending on how I level it up, what it rolls, it could be one of my best runes ever. Let's find out. One at a time. Shield. That was not what I was hoping for. I wanted damage here, But as long as it only rolls speed now, or some critical hit chance, it will still be a very, very, very good rune. Come on. Yes! Speed. I want more speed. Remember, this one goes up to 22% potency, which is highly needed on, not just on the raid. Critical hit chance, acceptable. Speed. Yes, please. No. That was bad. That was the worst of the stats in my opinion. But as I said, it's already an upgrade to my roster, so it can only get better. Let's see the last one. Give me speed. No, but still critical hit chance. This is still a good rune in my opinion. These are so rare, getting both potency on a potency rune with speed. Still good. Would have liked it higher than 9 speed, but I have several characters that are going to like this one. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.